And we're back.
We are.
2.5 months off.
Congratulations, everyone. I am the brand new owner of FakeRacers.com. You all wanted it, but I got it. Cheers. It's happening.
Hell yeah.
Everything's coming up fake, racers.
Everything's coming up fake. Insane way to start the show and start the year. This is actually the latest. This is the latest we've started a season. Because Davey had a little tummy ache last week, so
I was very sick, believe it or not.
Davey was very sick.
He was
last
very
week.
brave about it, though.
I've been super brave, actually.
He was very brave.
Yeah.
We'll check with the authorities on that later. But what?
Who's the authorities?
The podcast police.
Yep, the podcast police.
Oh, I got married as well.
Those would be the authorities, but
wife. No, she knows I was sick. She
the old ball and chain.
The old ball and chain. She's hearing this right now, and she's gonna hear it again when she listens to it. So,
if I do find a way to swing getting to your actual reception, she's gonna punch me probably.
She is. I already put in the big because I kind of assumed you had stuff going on, Matt, and I was like, okay, I'm making a group chat. I'm not gonna put the people who I'm pretty sure are not coming in it, but I put in the chat hey, from now on, if you say you're coming, you have to bring your own food. We won't have any for you.
I saw that message and I was like, oh, okay, well, guess I'll starve.
I'd share my food with you, Matt.
Hey.
There you go. I'm just a little guy. I don't eat much to begin with. So.
Matt,
just a little guy.
Matt, you know what? Doing this live on the air, so there's a record of it. If you come, I will pay for your hotel and I will pick you up from the airport.
That's,
wow.
An offer. Okay.
Now,
I'm gonna feel bad.
Paying for your no, you should.
Doing this in the presence of me is dirty work, by the way, Joe. Just saying. I'm just chilling.
Paying for the hotel is you're staying in the same hotel room as me because the hotel room I have sleeps too. But, whatever. It's fine.
Date for this. I gotta be careful to not show this because it has my address on it.
Okay. All right.
March 1st. Okay, we'll see.
We will see, says Matt. 3 weeks out. It couldn't be me. Folks.
Hey, I made the decision to go to Charlotte 4 years ago, literally 3 days before the weekend.
You know what? That is fair.
So.
That is fair. Welcome back to the Fake Racers podcast. As Davey said, his big news is he got married. So congratulations to the Hazards.
Congrats.
Well, my other big news, almost arguably as big, is that I said at the beginning, I got FakeRacers.com. That's the big news. That's the big news.
That's bigger news for the podcast listeners out there.
Of course.
Because they probably don't care about your personal life.
No.
So,
I don't. I wouldn't blame them.
I wouldn't blame them either.
Don't blame them.
It's honestly kind of boring.
Who the hell am I?
Matt, you got any big news this offseason? Anything?
I've done pretty much nothing over the last few months.
But no, you have an addition to the family.
Oh yeah, he ran away again.
Okay, that's okay.
I have a cat. He's around here somewhere. He's very orange.
He'll make appearances throughout the year.
Yeah.
He'll be
next time he walks out of my bathroom, I'll pick him up and force
just
him to
interrupt
be on camera.
whoever's talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're talking, just stop talking and cat.
He'll probably start getting zoomies here soon. So
okay. All right. Fair
watch
enough.
for that in the background.
Yeah. Of course. Yes.
And I'm
Picking
Joe,
up right
of
where
course.
we left off.
Of course, always. I'm a Joe, of course. No big news for me in the off season. Life is a black hole, and that's okay. But welcome back to the Fake Racers podcast. It's been too long, and we can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, drop likes, subscribe, follow, comment. Who knows? Who knows what you should do? Just interact. Interact with whatever you're viewing or listening to us with.
Please, we're so lonely.
We are so lonely. Listen, you can speak for me, Matt, because let me tell you, that spoke for me right there. But let's get into it, because I have a wonderful conversation topic to start off the new year, because I know everyone has been dying to talk about this. New qualifying formats in NASCAR this year.
Let's go!
New qualifying formats.
Yes!
This year.
The show before the show.
That's right.
I honestly, when it came out, I was actually about that hype for it. It's pretty cool.
Hey, one round of qualifying. No more of this A-B crap.
Thank you.
Thank God. Dude. What were we doing? What was that? I still don't know how it worked. Don't explain it to me. I don't want to know. But it was horrible.
Remember how like Group A would always be the inside and Group B would always be the outside, but then if the fastest car was in Group B, he would get to be the inside of row 1, and then...
I love when we have like a thing in racing and like the whole point of the thing is to make it hard to explain to people that don't know about it. I love that. That's my favorite part of
Stage
everything.
racing.
You've just described NASCAR for the last 20 years.
Wait. What
Listen.
about the
I know.
What about the Xfinity fastest lap?
I'm okay with it. That's
Oh,
not
yeah, no,
that's
I
not
know.
totally foreign
Yeah.
to racing series. I'm okay.
No.
Honestly, that one, and we don't have it on the show sheet, but
We
the all 3 series now pay a point for the fastest lap in the race.
Singular point. Yep.
Now, which honestly goes hard. Go for it by all
I don't mind
means.
it.
One
If
spot.
there's a quick team that has like been like had bad luck or a small parts failure and got it fixed out or fixed in the garage and went back out, was able to get back out, which we'll get to that in a little bit too. And they want to put a set of sticker tires on with 10 to go and no fuel and see if they can go out there, nut up, and rip one, dude.
Just
Hell yeah, that's
100%
heavy metal.
grill tape.
Are you kidding? Yes, dude, that's
Grenade
heavy
the motor
metal.
after a lap.
Hey, but it's a point.
Exactly. I mean, honestly,
Points have kept drivers
Goes
out
hard.
of playoff rounds, right? Like,
Yeah.
yes.
that's so. Could be something to watch in the playoffs. I feel like more than in the regular season, but somehow the script will be written that it'll be very
40
important
lap
at
down
Daytona.
because of a 30-cent TRD engine piece. Christopher Bell going out at I don't know, like Darlington. Is Darlington in the playoffs this season
Yeah,
again?
yep,
Or
yep.
dude, going at Darlington like 10 to go, set of stickers, tracks rubbered up, just going out there, just absolutely nutting up and
Starting-
cranking one out.
Starting
Oh my
half a lap
god,
back of the field, so that way he's got clean racetrack in front of him.
dude,
You
are
just-
you kidding me?
You just know, though, based off of the way the playoffs went this year, that this is going to end up with Joey Logano winning a championship.
Oh,
because
of
it.
course. Well, no, it's
It's
an
gonna
even,
ha-
it's an
like-
even year, or it's an odd year.
It's
I'm sorry.
gonna be at Martinsville, and he's gonna be a point out, and then he's just gonna run a friggin' heater on the last lap, and it's like Joey Logano's in, and everybody's like, God damn it!
That could make for some. Oh my god, that's gonna make for some great drama. Like if that happens again, because I truly do think like teams that are down and out that are fast I would be willing to like we're already 40 laps down or 20 laps down or whatever. Let's just pit under green, get a set of stickers on, just go out and rip, just rip as fast as you can. The tires are the pressures are up. Like just go. Like I bet
Yeah.
that's gonna happen. It's gonna make for some really good drama. Oh my god, dude, I haven't even thought this in depth about this rule. I love it. Anyway, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Ready for chaos.
Chaos will continue to ensue because Davey already mentioned it. Our favorite rule, the DVP rule, has been tweaked once again.
Thank God.
It's actually pretty good.
It's actually a good tweak. I believe it's a 8-minute clock now. If you can't make those, it might still be 7 minutes, but if you can't make those repairs on pit road, you need to go to the garage. You'll be penalized if the clock expires, as you were before, but you won't be taken out of the race. You'll be automatically, if you have to be towed, you'll be towed back to your garage stall, whether that be for flat tires or damage. So a lot of really good updates there. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
Good change. This is one of those things where, you know, there's definitely a lot of reasons to criticize NASCAR in the past couple decades, but the majority of the changes that we've seen the last 3 years, like specifically, have been pretty good. And this is like another continuation. The qualifying changes, the fastest lap thing that we just went on about, like all of these have been pretty good additions to the rule book. As well as there are some other ones that also aren't on the show sheet that have to do with the race manipulation stuff after some of the playoff rounds. Also good changes. I like it.
OEM
I like it.
penalties are in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Playoff provisionals. If you miss a race, if you need a waiver, you don't get playoff points.
Yep.
Which I like.
It's good.
That's a good one. That's the Kyle Larson, you better show up to the Coke 600 this year rule. It is. I mean,
Yeah.
100%, yeah. Yeah, the thing with the DVP, It drove me up the wall last year when we got into the playoffs, and everybody was like, well, Ryan Blaney got screwed, so we just have to screw everybody for the rest of the year. And I was like, no, it's broken. Fix it. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah, you do.
Everybody knows this rule sucks. Change it. They changed it. Way to go. So, I'm glad we're done with this. Such a stupid rule that served no point. I'm over it.
Final big kind of rule that came out in this was that NASCAR now holds the right to give a provisional to a world-class racing driver that does not already qualify for the race. It's literally just going to be used in the Daytona 500 most likely. But for one driver, this is part of the new charter agreement too, for one driver that they deem would bring good, like a spotlight to the sport, to be at the 41st driver in the field for the Daytona 500. The only driver that applied for this provisional was Helio Castroneves. He'll be one of the Trackhouse, 4th Trackhouse entry for the 500. But, when asked about it, NASCAR's like, yeah, Jimmy and Martin Truex Jr. could have, applied for it if they wanted to. What happens when multiple drivers apply for it? Who knows? How does NASCAR rank it? Because this is also a provisional. So if the 91 car qualifies in on speed, there will still only be 40 cars in the Daytona 500 this weekend. How do we feel about this? I know there's been some... I think a lot of people realize it's a cool thing, but there are some money things to go along with it.
Yeah, there are legitimate concerns, right? Like, I agree that it's cool. I think I'm a big fan of it. It's not that much different than any racing series, and especially in the United States in a short track sort of arena where, the NASCAR's roots are, I guess you would say, where the sponsored car or the sponsor of the race kind of has like a car that they pick as like, hey, this is the sponsor car. It gets in the race no matter what. Like, and that is reasonable, and it's cool that we're gonna let like teams that are on these big stages get into the race. But, I mean, it kind of sucks if like they race their way in and someone that could have been in if they just they just like stopped on the racetrack. There's plenty of legitimate concerns and criticism, and there's been some vocal ones like Denny, who I think has even a little bit of extra incentive to be critical, but talking about, I mean, it's kind of like, it's obvious, right? Like it's taking up a spot in the show, but it's not taking up a spot in the show if it happens to do terribly. Like, I get it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing that bugs me about it is, like, if Elio races his way in, somebody's shit out of luck. If Elio doesn't, you're just in anyway, and we'll just add an extra car. Like, it almost seems like if you're gonna apply for that, you should allow 41 regardless.
Yeah. I can kind of get with that.
So that's the only thing I think is kind of weird about it.
It'll be interesting to see. Sorry, but it'll be interesting to see if the 91 doesn't qualify in on speed Wednesday night, what they elect to do in the duels. Because I think you got to get Elio out there to get some laps, but also there's probably no reason to risk wrecking a Daytona 500 primary car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you're locked in the show.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
As always, we're correct, so.
Oh, yeah, of course. We should run the sport.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We wouldn't sell to private equity or anything like that, so. Because that came out today. I don't have it in the show sheet, but.
Ignore that we've been saying that we'll blatantly sell out to anybody who wants to sponsor us for the last 3 years.
Yes, exactly.
But we
don't ignore
that.
Are you kidding me? Yeah. Don't ignore that. We'll bring so much money to this sport. We'll just take money from everyone. Are you kidding me?
We just won't do that when we own NASCAR.
Yes.
No, we will.
We'll all of us.
Quiet.
We will. Are you kidding
Quiet.
me?
Shut up.
What are we doing here?
Of course, last weekend was the clash at Bowman Gray. Chase Elliott kind of had a dominant win. I think he led 175 to 200 laps, somewhere in that ballpark.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. Ryan Blaney had a stellar run. He got the provisional spot in the main event and drove all the way up to second. Was battling for the lead at one point, and then couldn't get around Chase.
Just couldn't get all the way there. I did like Ryan's comment after the race where he was like, last year I started last and I finished third, and this year I started last and I finished second, so maybe we can work on that next year so I don't have to pass everybody.
But what were our thoughts on the clash at Bowman Gray? I think obviously it was a pretty cool scene. Shout out to that one Chase fan at the end that got put all over everything. Just, yeah, exactly, blank staring. That was great. Really appreciate Fox. That guy does too. But
what if we find the least enthusiastic person right now in the crowd?
And it's literally a guy wearing the hat and the merchandise of the guy that just won the race. It's crazy.
Yeah,
There's gotta be another one.
That's my first thought on the clash.
Be like
it was such an unfortunate return to form for Fox in a bad way. Like, how are we at Bowman Gray zooming in so far that we... Like, I'm not even the kind of person that wants to, like, rehash all the same old boring talking points about the Fox broadcast. But it was kind of ridiculous. We're at Bowman Gray. The track is, like, this big. Like, what are we doing zooming in? I don't understand.
But
yeah, they completely missed Burt Meyer's crash.
Yeah!
I don't know how.
But
it's a football field, dude! Like...
They should be good at that. They just had the Super Bowl last night with their
stellar
score.
I was going to mention that because they were even doing it in the Super Bowl when they were interviewing Jalen Hurts post-game, and they only had this much of his face in frame. And I was like, you're talking to one person. Back up a step. Like, holy shit.
I really don't get it. And yeah, honestly, it just was such a disgusting return to form for them. But I thought it was cool at Bowman Gray. I think NASCAR did a good job making that place feel up to snuff, which is good because now they get to keep those changes. I think they took down the fence, but Bowman Gray hasn't had a fence in like all 70 years it's existed or some nonsense like that, so that's not a big deal. But they have safer barriers, and that's good for the guys that race there every week. And now that they put all the money into it, now people are spreading rumors about the clash going to Brazil, which I don't hate, but we just spent all that money getting Bowman Gray up to snuff, and now we're going to Brazil.
But we gotta take NASCAR International, man.
What?
We gotta take all of our sports international. That's how. That's how.
And we can, because NASCAR has a Brazil series. Interlagos is probably one of the best F1 tracks that like could be also a NASCAR track. Mm-hmm. Like it's perfect for it, and like the atmosphere would be cool, and I know there's always going to be the same damn yokels. I don't want to go to America, yada yada, like this, that, the other thing. It'd be really cool. Man, does it need to be the Clash? Does it need to replace Bowman Gray? Like, do we need to do all that?
Yes.
We could just what if we just had like a exhibition race or something, you know? Because we did that before.
Charter
we went
agreement
to
doesn't allow
Japan.
for it.
Really?
I don't think so. I'm assuming the charter agreement is only locked in for the current 38 events. So,
oh wow,
you would have to incentivize teams to go do that now. And I don't know what kind of incentives would be there for teams to, go do that. But also NASCAR kind of be pretty dickish, I think is the proper term. But and just tell the teams, you have to go to Brazil and run
literally the "you're going to Brazil" meme. Like,
I've been thinking about that every day. Like,
so
I can't wait to take a screenshot from a Huangdo video and use that for when it's announced.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what the future of the Clash is, because there are, like, San Diego was kind of up there, but then also San Diego's in play for, like, the street race after this year at Chicago. So where
would they even run the Clash in San Diego?
Just around Qualcomm.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
That's where they'll probably do the street race. Like, I would think that it'll end up being a, like, road course Clash event. It won't be a, like, short oval, because I don't know how many football stadiums you could really put a oval in.
Yeah,
I know two though. I know
two.
I don't know. I mean, Brazil's cool, and because like it's still technically summer there. No, like
it'd
be like the atmosphere would be awesome, but is that Like, is
that
that
really
what
what we
we
wanna
need right
do?
now?
No,
Like,
not really. We should probably go to Canada first. If we're gonna go international. But then again, there might be a tariff, so who knows?
Ayo.
Heyo.
yeah.
But
Great.
yeah, shout out to Chase Elliott for winning the Clash. He actually kind of looked happy for a couple seconds, so
And he did
Yeah.
a cool
appreciate
burnout.
he did.
That burnout was pretty
He
sick.
he
Yeah.
was having, you know what? He had a good time. I appreciate Chase Elliott because he had a good time when he won the race.
You know,
Yeah.
I said this. I said this on the night too, and my new stance on Chase Elliott is, you know, you'll never make me hate Chase Elliott. You certainly won't make me like him,
Right?
but you'll never make me hate him.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like we
just-
say,
He just
he just
Chase
hates his
Elliott.
job. He hates his job.
That's so
You know
relatable
what?
too, right?
We hate our jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hates his job. We're the same. We're the
Yeah.
same.
One and the same.
I was gonna say the LCQ was chaos, as everybody predicted.
Of course.
Ty Dillon was a
it
goddamn
should be.
terrorist.
Yeah.
Again.
As he should be.
I'm so glad that he has a full-time cup ride this year. Great.
I can't believe
Dude,
it.
just the entire time I was watching that, I just kept thinking, why?
Yeah.
Just why?
Just Ty Dillon things, you know.
I forgot he had a full-time cup ride. Even when I was watching the race, like he would come on screen and be like, "Ah, God, Jesus Christ, Ty Dillon!"
Ty Dillon jump scare.
Every time.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, and then you had Ricky Stenhouse wreck the hell out of Burt Myers.
Yeah.
And then Burt Myers just hung out by his hauler, and then he was like, "Hey, Ricky, where are you?" And he's like, "You should go by the hauler." And it's like, "Did you look at the picture? That's where he is." Just saying. So that's
Oh
funny.
man.
Ty Gibbs should be parked because he needs to be parked for a race because he's also a goddamn terrorist.
Dude,
This is
he
getting out of hand.
is never gonna grow up.
No. I mean, it was literally mid-wreck when he gets turned, and then he just full throttles into Zane Smith's door.
He has a habit
Like-
of doing that now too.
Yeah.
That's not the first time he's done that, or the second time. I think that's the third time he's done that we've seen.
Hey, what was
Yeah.
it? Sonoma. And then
Sonoma
was the-
Nashville?
Sonoma was the first one I remember.
Yeah. Also, it's Justin Haley, not Zane Smith, I just realized.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he friggin' ramped up over Justin Haley trying to ram him under caution. Like,
I
No, I know.
would have cried if he flipped. If he ended up on his lid.
oh yeah,
and was
that would have
just
been the
dangling
funniest
there,
thing of all time.
I would have cried. It would have been the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Just
It
baby
was so
raging.
this close.
It was
This
already
close.
like the funniest thing though. Like,
It's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
And like NASCAR said, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna talk to Ty about this," and I was like, "No, park him for a race. Dude.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we're past that, dude. We're past
Park him
that.
for the Daytona 500. That shit does
Oh,
not fly."
Could you imagine? Oh man.
He's basically gotten away with every, you know.
Oh, and then he'd need a playoff waiver, and then he wouldn't get playoff points.
Yeah.
Funny, but like he's basically gotten away with and we're far enough into the podcast at this point. He's basically gotten away with every shitty thing he's done ever in a stock car. Like he's never gotten like horribly punished. No,
No.
like he does not know what that looks like, and he just keeps doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
He tore up like 13 race cars at Sonoma by just matting the throttle when he got turned
Yeah.
in the Xfinity Series.
He,
while he was a cup
literally
driver.
did a burnout and then crashed into his teammate.
He did. Yes,
like
that's right.
after the wreck. Destroyed 2 Gibbs cars that were not wrecked up until that point.
I think it was the Nashville race. I don't think he held the throttle, but like everyone else was slowing down, and he did not slow down at all, and
Right.
T-boned the person that was up at the wall.
Yep.
That was what he did.
God, I forgot.
They were
about
wrecking,
that, yeah.
and he just blew through everybody because he didn't slow down. I don't know. He's like
Watched too much Cars as a
he
kid.
he is what, and Carson Hocevar is still guilty of this. He's not innocent, but he's what everyone says Carson Hocevar is
Yeah.
times a million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Carson Hocevar's at least likable.
A little
He
bit,
has a personality.
Yeah. He isn't just like, oh look, I have the monster girls with me.
Yeah. I just went through puberty, you guys.
He gets us.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the night. Let's go ahead and go from the shop.
Yes.
And this week on From the Shop, we're gonna do something fun. each of us are going to get assigned a random driver by Matthew, who has the Wheel of Destiny. And we're going to give a 60-second opinion on said driver. You better start a stopwatch because at 60 seconds, I am going to stop you because, we don't have all night to do this, guys.
I actually have a timer. I have a timer.
So
Perfect. So yeah, I have every single full-time driver plus Corey LaJoy on this wheel. I can take him off if you guys
Nope.
want.
You got
No, that's
to leave
perfect.
Corey.
Also, the center of the wheel is the picture, if you know what I'm talking about. It's the 2004 Daytona 500 picture that always comes up.
No! Oh my god!
The picture.
Even here, you can't escape it.
Oh, no!
Put it in the thumbnail.
No!
I don't know if anybody's noticed, but I changed the banner on my YouTube channel to that picture. So,
Oh my
anyway,
god.
who's going first?
Oh god. Who is
I'll go
going
first.
first?
Okay, Joe.
I'll start you. I'll start the timer after you get the driver. I'll say on you. Okay, and the timer starts now, and then you'll go. Okay.
Okay. I'm spinning the wheel now. It's going. Joe, your driver that you have to talk about now is Tyler Reddick.
Okay. Joe, you ready?
Yeah.
Timer starts now.
Tyler Reddick was a Final Four driver last year. Going to be hard to replicate the success that the 45 team had, especially with all of the looming controversy around the 2311 lawsuit against NASCAR. One thing Reddick has going for him is he returns Billy Scott as his crew chief, who has done a phenomenal job of kind of being the flag bearer over at 2311 for their engineering. Reddick's going to be at least in the Elite Eight of the playoffs, I think. Probably going to score a couple wins in the regular season, get a win in the playoffs, kind of advance himself around. But again, going to be very hard to get to that final 8, especially with Talladega in that round of 8. Martinsville also in there, 2 tracks that Reddick hasn't done great at. I know he had the Talladega win last year, but he kind of lucked into that one. But yeah,
10
Tyler
seconds.
Reddick, probably round of 8 driver, a couple wins. He'll have a good year, but not as good as last.
Wow, perfect. In 56 seconds. That was awesome.
You were literally like a pixel away from having to talk about Ricky Stenhouse.
Oh my god, that would have been awful.
I posted a screenshot of it in the JTN Creators channel. That's how close you were.
Okay.
That's why I hesitated, because I was like, it's going to be Oh, it's not going to be Reddick. Oh, no. All right. I'm assuming Davey's next.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. All right, I'm spinning the wheel. Davey, you must now talk about
Is it Ricky Stenhouse?
Austin Dillon.
Oh my god, okay. Austin Dillon, timer starts now. Austin Dillon. Let's look at some positives. He had race-winning speed at Richmond. There was some controversy that wasn't just to do with the fact that he wrecked 2 cars to end up winning that race. There was some setup note controversy. But the fact remains that those cars did have speed. Him and Kyle Busch both were quick at various points in the year. Just, in general, I think it was a down year for the RCR camp. Austin Dillon, he's not quite the driver Kyle Busch is. He's not going to be able to make up for the gaps in equipment. So they're really RCR is really going to need to capitalize on finding speed where they can in the cars, because they just did not have it at all last year. If your flagship driver is Kyle Busch, who in my opinion is one of the most talented drivers in the Cup Series, you need your secondary driver is not going to get more out of it than him, and Austin Dillon has not proven that to me. I think we are looking closer and closer to an Austin Dillon that's going to see a leadership role at RCR, because he's not been up to snuff in Cup yet. 1 minute and 2 seconds. Sorry, fellas.
Failure.
All right.
There's just a lot of context with Austin Dillon, because
There is.
I feel like he comes off better than he is when you don't compare him to Kyle Busch, but then you compare him to his teammates and
And you're like, ooh.
Yeah. So, all right. Now I'm spinning for me. My driver is... Oh, perfect. Oh, wait. No! It was going to be Kyle Larson instead I got Keselowski. Okay.
Okay.
Damn it.
Matt, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
All right, Brad Keselowski. Big improvement last year. I think Brad is starting to get into the twilight of his career, but a much improved season in 2024 compared to when he first took over ownership at RFK. I don't know if a title run is still in him. Like you were saying about Austin Dillon, I think we might see Brad start to move more into an administrative role, but it's clear he still has that competitive fire. But it does kind of seem that he's almost more invested in the success of Chris Buescher and now Ryan Preece coming in. I would expect Brad to at least win this year, maybe get a second one. He's been really good on the plate tracks. He's been very close. Oh my God, I just completely brain farted from there.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Closing statement.
Expecting him to at least make the playoffs. So
Perfect. 1 minute on the dot.
let's do it. All right. Joe, your next driver is... Oh, you barely missed Ricky Stenhouse again. It is Alex Bowman.
All right.
Joe, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
Bowman's in a year that it feels like, as has every year for the last 3 years, been a prove-it year, especially with Hendrick signing Justin Haley to a development deal. Carson Hocevar is also in the Chevrolet pipeline. And for some reason, Michael McDowell's at Spire. Bowman's got really good support from his sponsor, Ally, has a really good crew that believes in him, and I think that's more important for a driver who has openly talked about his struggles with believing in himself and his ability. They'll be fast in Daytona. They'll be fast to start the year. It's just going to be about making sure that they execute on the speed that they have, because last year that was the thing that really held them back in some of these moments throughout the season. They are consistently one of the faster cars in the grid. It's just they are plagued by the fact that Bowman is the fourth Hendrick guy in a lot of people's eyes. Bowman probably makes the playoffs, probably wins a race somewhere down the road. It'll come out of nowhere, though. We won't expect it. But yeah, playoff driver Alex Bowman.
59 seconds. Joe, you are a pro. That's the best one yet. Oh, man.
I might have
that
to pull
internal
that
engineer clock.
All right, Davey, your next driver is... Oh, baby, it's Ricky Stenhouse.
Why am I getting all the shit ones, dude? What in the world? All right. Timer starts now. Ricky Stenhouse. Honestly, could have had a worse year. Not by much, but could have had a worse year. That team has rebranded, has new leadership. I don't know how much of the core of the team is different. I don't think much of it is. But really, all I have to say is when I heard that they re-signed Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I echo Noah Joyce when he said on purpose, and Ricky Stenhouse just has to he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He's not a cup driver. He's got great partners. He's a solid enough driver to where teams feel like they can rely on him, but his lack of consistency, his ability to wreck everything, just doesn't do it for me. And even his proficiency on the super speedway tracks is not enough to tip over the scale of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. from a driver that is a liability to a driver that performs. 1 minute, 1 second. I'm horrible at this.
I just don't understand what he brings to the table at this point.
And they lost their sponsorship, right? They lost Kroger.
That's right.
So think about that. RFK got Kroger, and that's why they were able to expand to a third car with Ryan Preece.
That's right. I forgot about
Hayek
that.
Motorsports lost their major partner, and they have Sunny D, I guess. No,
there's something really ironic about Roush firing Ricky Stenhouse and then hiring Chris Buescher and then being like, oh, also, we're going to take your sponsor, too, in a few years.
And the other, JTG teammate for the what,
JTG just became the Roush farm team, and
except for Stenhouse.
Yeah.
Well, because they sent Stenhouse there is the problem.
That's fair. Sent him to the farm leagues.
Because you got to remember, Chris Buescher was only at JTG because Roush loaned him to JTG.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
The other thing, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that team and that charter if they can't find sponsorship. Like Davey said, Stenhouse has really good partners that see something in him. So But he did.
Yeah.
He did
All
win
right,
a race
must.
last year.
Yeah. He's one of very few drivers who's won races both of the last 2 seasons.
That's right.
That's, I guess, fair.
That's something that he has going for him.
All right, my next one is Noah Gragson. Okay, I can talk about this one.
All right. And timer's on.
All right, Noah Gragson. Last year, I think he was one of the pleasant surprises, especially of the beginning of the season. I think this move can be pretty good. When I look at Front Row's lineup, they have 3 young drivers that I think all 3 of them are future stars. And I think Noah Gragson can be a good face of an up-and-coming team. Like, regardless of what you think about Noah Gragson and dumb things he's said or done in the past, like, Noah is a charismatic, popular, likable guy. And he can drive the hell out of a race car. And he brings big sponsors. I don't know if we're talking first win yet, because it depends on, is Front Row on the same level as Stewart-Haas? Are they above? Are they below? I don't know where that measuring stick is. Stewart-Haas was kind of impossible to judge over the last couple of years. But I would expect him to be at least a playoff contender.
1 minute on the dot. Good job.
Perfect. All right. Last
Joe,
one.
your final driver. It's gonna be something dumb. All right, it's one of the main characters of the Fake Racers podcast the last few years.
Oh.
You have Riley Herbst.
Oh my god.
All right, Joe, you ready?
Yep.
Timer starts now.
Riley Herbst is a driver that I think most people are like, why is he in the Cup Series? What has he done to belong in the Cup Series? The one thing Riley Herbst has done to belong in the Cup Series is have funding and have support, and always gets better. He's gotten better every year in the Xfinity Series, it feels like, even though if it took him a while to get good. Feel like last year he did take a step forward despite maybe the wins and the accolades not being there for the 98 team in a year that obviously SHR was going through things. But for Riley, this year is just going to be about don't be the worst guy in the Cup Series, don't wreck the race car, and don't prove all the haters correct. I think more than anything, he'll be able to compete on the super speedways. We saw that when he was in the Front Row car and the Rick Ware car the last few years at Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta. Is he a playoff guy? Probably not. But can he be Rookie of the Year? Maybe so. We'll see. Riley Herbst, 2311.
59 seconds. Man.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna have to deal with the fact that I'm starting to like Riley Herbst one of these days.
I
yeah,
just
feel about it.
It's not even that. It's just like he's kind of in that same boat as like Chase Elliott, where it's just kind of like I don't think he's very nice to his crew. Like you listen to him on the radio, he's like a jerk. Now a lot of race car drivers are jerks to their crews, but
Yeah. Looking at you, Brian Blaney.
I'm gonna ask to hurry. I gotta take care of something here. We're about to blow a gasket.
All right, I'm spinning your
We're
wheel.
blowing up. Gotta take it to the garage.
Perfect. Oh, never mind. Okay, it's Chris Buescher. You were that
Who did
close
I
to
almost
getting AJ
have?
Allmendinger. Almost got
Oh.
AJ. All right,
Chris Buescher?
Chris Buescher. Yep.
I would say last season was a bit of a disappointment for Chris Buescher, who did not get to win a race to get himself into the playoffs. He came agonizingly close. If there was one thing that I was going to say about Chris Buescher heading into last season, it's that he was going to do a bit better, and he didn't necessarily. I think the speed was still there, but he didn't have that incisive execution that we talked about Alex Bowman needing. Chris Buescher was another one who suffered from that last year. And I think this is the season where he does kind of finally kick on. Maybe we saw it last season, even though it wasn't his second year in the Cup Series. Saw it a little bit as a sophomore slump. Second season as a winner in the Cup Series, at least a multi-time winner. And Chris Buescher's going to be in the playoff picture. I think he does win a race on time this time. I think he continues to battle for wins. He was oh so close multiple times, and that team has proven that it has speed. So Chris Buescher, he's going to be at least in the final 12. 1 minute, 1 second. Mother trucker, dude. Also, I'm good. We're not blowing up anymore. We're fine.
All right. And then my final one for the final exercise of the day. Once again, barely missing Kyle Larson. It's Justin Haley. All right.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Timer's on.
I'm not as high on Justin Haley as other people are. But he has definitely put in some very, like last year especially, put in some very impressive drives. Within was it the 51 that he was in or the 15? Can't remember. It doesn't matter. But yeah, the stint in the 7 car at the end of the year did not go well. But now he's got a foot in the door, like you mentioned, with the Hendrick program. This is a huge year, and it's almost like what we came into last year saying about Corey LaJoie, where it was go prove your worth, go impress some people, go turn some heads. Because there's, again, no reason this team can't hang around the top 20 in points. They have speed, they have great equipment, and Justin Haley has talent, and he's a damn good plate track driver. So, yeah, this is almost like a tryout year. Maybe not for this year, but in the next couple years. But this is where you, to steal a phrase from a former driver, start stacking pennies. So.
Ooh, let's go. That was good.
Not necessarily supposed to be a dig at Corey, but it is a good phrase.
Yeah, but Corey wouldn't stack pennies on Fridays or Saturdays, so...
Okay.
Do we want to talk about that real quick?
Actually, bottom split...
You guys can. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Davey's going to take a break, but we're going to keep recording here, and we're going to move to our bottom split moments of the offseason. Matt, my bottom split moment of the offseason had to be Corey LaJoie going on a NASCAR podcast, pretty much, or a NASCAR platform, saying that he would rather not race in front of 12 fans on Saturday or Friday, and wanted to race in the Cup Series, so he's going to do his limited schedule this year in Cup. I thought that was a very deaf. Got it. Yeah. Tone deaf statement to make, especially with the push that NASCAR's been making about the Xfinity and the Truck Series, respectively. And I didn't like it. I did not like it. One bit.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Because I'm going to use a direct comparison against somebody who's going to be racing him for a spot in the Daytona 500 in a week, which is Justin Allgaier. And Allgaier was a guy who, got his foot in the door in the Cup Series. It didn't go anywhere, and instead of trying to catch on with other backmarker teams, he was like, I'm going to go win championships.
And he finally did it.
Yeah, and he won a championship, and he's won a ton of races, and Justin Allgaier is probably a very rich man now. And he's heading Junior Motorsports' first ever Cup start.
Yeah.
Would you rather be Corey LaJoie or would you rather be Justin Allgaier? Or AJ Allmendinger, a guy who, didn't want to scrape around at the bottom of the Cup
Cole
Series.
Custer.
Another prime example. And it just goes back to what I mentioned this last year when he got released and Denny Hamlin was like, Corey has talent. We've seen it. When he was coming up through the ranks, he was racing with and beating Bubba Wallace, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. Mm-hmm. What have all of those guys accomplished? A lot. Go win races. And if he is telling the truth and said he turned down the McAnally 19 truck to go run a partial schedule for Rick Ware in the Cup Series, what are you doing? Hire a better manager.
Yeah. Because
that is a truck that I has won so many races over the last couple of years. And, whatever Daniel Hemrick does this year, are you going to tell me that Corey LaJoie can't do the same thing? It just doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah.
So
that was my bottom split moment. Was Corey LaJoie's comments about not wanting to run an Xfinity in trucks. Matt, what was your bottom split moment? The off season.
Internet froze.
Or was it also that?
There we go. Sorry, my internet froze there for a second. Davey, did you want to comment on Corey LaJoie at all?
Weird thing to say, man. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Yep.
Why would you say that? Such a weird thing to say.
He didn't want to race in front of Ryan Blaney fans,
Yeah. Shut up, dude.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have one of a bottom split moment of the off season that's coming to mind, but I guess I can mention the weird Super Bowl party I went to yesterday.
Okay.
So I know said friends are not going to listen to this because one of them had to ask me, and I quote, "Who's Chase Elliott?" when they came up on screen. So I'm very grateful of my friends for hosting a Super Bowl party, but don't tell all of your friends a month ago, hey, you guys should come over to our house for the Super Bowl, and then day of go, does anybody have a way to stream it? So when we got there, we were trying to figure out how to bring up the Super Bowl on their TV, and also their house was extremely small, and also they kind of implied that they wanted everybody to leave after the third quarter. So it was a very weird situation.
It's streamed for free on Tubi, man.
Yeah.
What were they having problems with?
I don't know.
Do they not watch football?
I think they do. Like,
but then how would they not, like,
I don't know.
It's either on Fox, NBC, or CBS, and if you watch football, you should know how to watch those stations, right?
Yeah. It was a very odd
Matt,
Super Bowl party.
I'll invite you to my Super Bowl party next year.
Okay.
Now you'll have to fly all the way out here to go to it, but I'll invite you.
Beats walking.
That's right. Davey, bottom split moment of the offseason.
Just
pretty
like
good offseason.
Well, I mean, yes, for like personally,
Okay.
but like my bottom split moment of the offseason, just like everything else.
Yeah. I mean, my other bottom split moment would have been Ohio State winning the college football national championship. But then my road to pro moment was that we beat them in Columbus for the fourth straight year. So
I was going to say, would your other bottom split moment of the offseason being the Lions getting one and done?
Nope. So. Still not over that one. Don't need to bring it up. I was very
might
sad.
be the bottom split moment in like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just randomly bring it up one week.
Remember when that happened? Yeah, that sucked.
Didn't really have anything this week, but that.
I guess if I had to stay with the theme of sports related ones, Tottenham it's been horrible. It's been really horrible. It's just been bad. I think it's our worst season in like 3 decades.
Get good.
Solid. Every time we get a player back from injury, 2 more go down injured. We just had we already had like we had a player playing out of position, and we had a player playing who was never supposed to really be our starter, and then the starter that was actually playing in his own position tore his ACL or something, so he's out until next year. And we're still playing an 18-year-old midfielder at center back. That's like, I don't know how to explain that in football terms, but imagine if like...
Davey, I just want you to know I know your pain, because literally 15 of the Lions players their defensive players were on IR.
We have a whole squad, we could field a starting 11 of injured players, and it would probably...
Yeah, we could too.
It'd probably be better than the players that we have that are healthy.
I think I was getting snaps for the Lions defense at some point. That's how bad it was.
It was bad.
There's
they were openly talking about signing people off of the street like 2 days before the game. Like, yeah, we signed this guy because
Can anybody here play football? Any of you guys? We're holding tryouts.
It's funny because we'll get like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is it's brand new and it's amazing, and all these events go there and all these concerts, and every time a new concert is announced, like Beyonce, Kendrick Lamar says anytime anything is announced, it's like, can they play center back? I was like, man, I wish. I do wish.
I was gonna say just to stay with the sports tangent. My other bottom slip moment of the offseason is just the entirety of the Dallas Cowboys being a goddamn embarrassment. So,
yeah, well,
specifically,
Jerry Jones.
I want to read this
to you.
Yeah, I want to read this Jerry Jones quote this was like 2 months ago, and I'm still baffled by it, which was when they played a game in the afternoon in the Cowboys Stadium. Okay, NFL stadiums are all oriented north-south, except the Cowboys Stadium is east-west, which you're not supposed to do because of the sun. And then they put giant glass walls on each side, and they have curtains to roll out in front of them, and they just don't do that for football games. And so there was a game against the Eagles where CeeDee Lamb literally dropped a touchdown because the sun was in his eyes and he couldn't see it. And they play indoors. And so somebody asked Jerry Jones, like, why don't you guys use the curtains? And here's Jerry Jones' quote. By the way, we know where the sun is going to be when we flip the coin, so we do know where the damn sun is going to be in our own stadium. Let's just tear the damn stadium down and build another one. Are you kidding me? Every team that comes in here has the same issues. They know where the sun is going to be. Every team has the same thing. I'm not saying it's on Mike. I'm saying the world knows where the sun is. We get to know almost a year in advance. So someone asked me about the sun. What about the sun? Where's the moon? We're fine. Everybody plays in the sun out here. My theory is still that Jerry Jones is either a vampire or a werewolf, which is why he's asking about the moon, because he's like, oh shit, is it a full moon? I can't be out here right now. So
There were rumors for about 4 days that Jerry Jones was going to purchase Tottenham Hotspur.
God, I forgot about that.
Our fans were so mad about it that the rumors got dispelled almost immediately, which was nice to see.
Good.
We were going to be partners in misery.
I think I would have probably quit.
He would have had to be the GM for Tottenham too.
I would have quit.
Good.
Dak Prescott's going to play for Tottenham now.
Can you play center back?
Probably. Davey, what's your road to pro moment of the offseason?
I got married.
There you go.
That's
Hell
a
yeah.
boring one.
No,
That's not boring. Sorry,
that's-
Lauren. I love you so
Boo
much.
this man.
But I've already said that one. So God, what did we do? What did I do this offseason besides just work on getting married and then get married and then work on throwing a party? I mean, Lauren's done a lot of that. Thank you, Lauren. You're the best.
Thank you,
I won the
Lauren.
24 hours of Daytona on iRacing with the
Oh, hell
homies.
yeah.
Wow.
I discovered that my computer can't stream endurance races without exploding anymore, but I did win it without streaming it, so that's good. I'm running in a new league on Tuesday nights, which is pretty good. I'm doing pretty well. I've always wanted. I've been in the USRL bubble for so long. I get a kick out of going somewhere new where I don't know anybody and there's no one in there that I know. I'm completely brand new. No one in there knows I existed before I signed up, and establishing myself as a driver there and getting to know the people. I don't know. Something about it's really fun to me, and that's been a fun little thing I've been doing. I just finished third at Daytona Road Course in that league, so people are starting to think, oh, this guy, he actually doesn't suck that bad. Good. I'm like, oh, yep, nope, I'm just moderately competent. Cheers, thanks for having me. So that's been pretty good, and I'm inching closer and closer to racing a go-kart.
Hell yeah.
Basically ready. I just need to be in shape and not feel like my core is going to split in half when I'm driving the go-kart. But other than that, we're doing all right.
Good.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Good.
I guess I'll go next.
Anyone else?
My road
right
to
back into Fake Races podcast form, baby.
That's right.
My road to pro moment of the off season, and you thought you were going to get away from me rambling about Supercross for
Oh
an
my
episode.
God.
Ha, that's why.
all
This
that.
weekend, in his 109th career 450 main event at his home race in front of his family and his big brother in the booth calling it, Malcolm Stewart is a 450 Supercross winner and did it in epic fashion.
That
So
one was
good.
cool.
I had genuinely had an anxiety attack over the last few laps, praying for him to not blow it. Second time in the last 6 months that Leigh Diffie has gotten to turn to somebody in his booth and said he did it to somebody's family member. So it was awesome though. Supercross has kicked so much ass this year. Yeah. Joe, how about you?
That one's yap worthy.
My road to pro moment was I got to go to Colorado and see my best friend get engaged. So congratulations to him and
Hell yeah.
his bride to be, because they're awesome people and I'm very happy for them. And I'm also happy that I don't have to keep getting the question of when is he going to propose to me. But it was cool. We went up to one of the national parks up there, went hiking. It was very cold. She tried to be like, oh yeah, we don't have to go hiking today, and then everyone that was there, because there were a lot of people there, friends of both, and we were all like, no, we're going for this hike, in unison. It's like, oh crap.
Joe demands it.
No, we all said it, and it was like, oh crap, maybe she's gonna start putting two and two together, because it's kind of weird that all these people are like, no, it's gonna be freezing and we want to still go for this hike that's way above. Like, it was cold, man. It was cold, but it was a fun time. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations to them on their engagement. So, yeah. But
You'd love to see it.
that was this week's episode of the Fake Racers podcast, folks. As always, we encourage you to make sure, if you haven't already, drop a like, follow, do all those things. Follow at Fake Racers on X. If you want to delve into that cesspool, you can also make sure you are subscribed to Track and Turf on YouTube.com. Also, go check out Daytona Network. We will be more sporadically broadcasting live this year. That's kind of my plan, to give myself more time. And yeah, I don't know. Davey, you got anything for the folks at home?
I have acquired fakeracers.com.
Go check out fakeracers.com in like 3 weeks.
Eventually. I still need to build it. Relax.
Go to fakeracers.com and look at the website and be like,
hey, yo, cuz, what's this?
that's what people would be doing right now if they went to it, yes.
And then once the website's done, they're going to be like,
Man, yo, I'm loving it.
That's right.
Shut up.
That's right. That's right.
Shut up, dude.
Of course, if you're watching this over on Track and Turf, you've been watching Offsides all season long, and you've heard a lot of Matt. Matt, last episode this week of the season, I believe. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It's been a good time.
What a time. You guys did it. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I'm proud of Dewey and Steven. They've been like super motivated, and like we found new ways to keep the show like fresh and like engaging and fun. Like if you didn't, like, we've been doing our little like 45-second game recaps as like intros, and we've been like having fun with those. Like for the last few Jaguars games, I just used those to like ramble about trains instead of talking about the Jaguars. So yeah, no, it's been a good time, and I'm looking forward to recording our Super Bowl wrap up. So, yep.
So go watch and listen to that after you're done listening to us this week.
Yeah, and then make sure to comment like.
That's what's up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So yeah, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for watching, for listening. Make sure you support. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you're excited for this racing season, because it's going to be a good one. We'll be back next week after the Daytona 500 to talk about NASCAR weekend at Daytona, and then get you ready for Atlanta a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Things might get crazy. They might not. Who knows? All that much more next week on the Fake Racers podcast. Thanks for watching, folks.
Bye.